Automatically expected to win any 1500 metres match in just about any international, indoors or out, but no longer, I'm afraid. And indeed, the French here have arguably their best athlete in the entire French team running for them in this 1500 metres race. Eric Dubou, who won the European Indoor 3000 metres championships on this track in 1990 and won a World Indoor silver medal as well. A front runner, and his partner in this race here, Vincent Terray, who was third in last year's French Indoor Championships. He leads at the moment with Dubou in second place. Running for Britain here, Ian Grime, who was a very impressive winner on his Great Britain international debut in the match against Russia. He wears number 2, second from the back of the field at the moment. Wearing number 1 is Grant Graham, the 22-year-old, making his senior international debut. He wears number 1. Running as a guest, all in black, is Ian Campbell, the Dundee-based athlete who's been runner-up in the 3A's Indoor Championships in the last 2 years. Steve Ovett.
I think you're quite right, and I think we're up against it in this race. Eric Dubou is a class athlete. I mean, he's just broken the French record for 3,000, 7:43, which is pretty impressive, I must admit. And with his teammate there, Vincent Terray, I wouldn't be surprised if these two boys don't get 1 and 2, which is, as you quite rightly pointed out, quite a feat against Britain usually in the 1500 metres, but nowadays not that unexpected, I'm afraid.
Big, strong-looking man, the 28-year-old Frenchman. He's just beaten the French record, incidentally, for 3,000 metres, so he's in good form as well. And dropping down to this lower distance, I bet he feels fresh and strong, and he certainly looks that with 4 laps to go. Running very well here is the guest, Ian Campbell, who is coached by John Anderson, the man who guided David Moorcroft during the great days of his career. And he'll be very pleased with the way his charge is doing so far in this race. Campbell, the guest, in second place, splitting the two Frenchmen, Dubou and Terray. 3 laps to go.
Well, this is where the hammer goes down from Dubou. He's a notorious front runner, and I mean, he looks a bit ungainly, but once he starts powering away there, really is strong. It's a horrible feeling when you're behind someone like that, because you know he's not going to tire. You know, with 3 laps to go, he's just going to get faster and faster. So in the back of your mind is just how long you can hang on. Dubou now really pushing it as we come to 2 laps to go, and really he's dropping the rest of the field.
And the charge for British points here being led by Ian Grime, although he's a long way off Dubou. And it's still Campbell in second place. Grime now moving into 3rd. Graham is in 4th. Terray at the rear of the field. The next time round, it's the bell. Grime has made up a lot of ground on that lap, and he's certainly got Campbell in his sights, though it looks at the moment as though Dubou is too far ahead of him, surely, but who knows? Maybe Dubou will pay the price for having led for so long. I can't see it, though. There's an awful lot of work to do here for Grime, but he's going to give it his best shot. And Dubou is certainly tiring. Look at the expression on his face, and he's getting slower and slower, and Grime is getting quicker. But Dubou's lead should be enough to cushion him against an upset here in the final straight, and it is. He had to work hard for that in the end, and Grime comes sweeping through to take second place behind, just ahead of the guest, Campbell. Well, it was a good race in the end, and Dubou sensed that Grime was making up ground behind him and had to dig in again, and he found that hard work.
Well, that was a good run from Ian Grime. Then we clocked him at 3:43.3. If that's the case, that's a good performance. A quality field here in this 1500 metres, with Dubou pulling them through there at a very fast pace indeed. 3:41, the winning time, which is respectable indeed. It's below 4-minute mile pace. As you said, Alan, Dubou suffering over this last part of the race, but really it's only in his upper body. His legs are still running hard and running well. Grime coming through here, challenging Campbell around this top bend. Campbell struggling to keep the pace going. Dubou also tiring. A lot of tired athletes coming into this straight, but in the end a convincing victory there for Dubou, with Grime just snatching it from Campbell.